screwed in really tight.
There we go. We are live.
Can you get back to how do we get back to the other screen? Switch from cameras.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Hi, guys. We'll get ready here in a minute. You know,
we're good to go.
Yeah,
guys.
you know how it is here at A1 Back and
That's
South.
right. We're just kinda...
We're here for another month of Quilt Talk. Yay! And Gail, my name is Michelle Burrett.
Gail Cram.
Yes, and we are talking about
Batting. And you guys had some questions from the last, after our last live, so we will answer some of those, and then we'll just go into pretty much what we do.
Yeah, I went in, I think a day or two after that. And I seen the comments. I kind of answered some of the comments, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if they know it's me answering these comments." So I put, "This is Michelle Burrett," and I thought, "Okay." So I just did a couple.
Oh, cool.
Because I didn't really, but batting, and I got into a couple of the questions, and I went, "Wow, there's a lot that we need to share about batting."
Right.
Because there's a lot of questions I seen out there.
Yes, and I'm just kind of getting through here.
And we should introduce our helper.
Our helper, our moderator is Miss Lindsay.
Hi, guys.
Yes, and she will be asking the questions and helping us and making sure that our heads aren't cut off and stuff in the camera.
I'm doing my best. You've still got a little bit. They said whoever cranked that knob, I'm like, I can't get it loose, so I tried to back you guys up a little bit.
The other Michelle.
Yeah,
She's
the other
tough.
Michelle. She's like tough.
Yeah,
She's
she doesn't
got
want
real
that thing
strong.
falling.
Yeah.
Well, and first of all, guys, batting has changed a lot in the many years I've been quilting.
In the last 30 years.
Oh,
yeah, that's, oh my gosh.
I mean, it's so much nicer now than it used to be. But we have a lot to go over here.
Yes. Do you want to talk about the different kinds of batting? And well, you know what? I have something I think I want to say.
Okay.
And I think you're probably on the same page as me. I see a lot of quilts, and we know that when we're putting a quilt together, if you're buying a quilt kit, pricey. If you're putting together out of your stash, you're still taking a lot of time putting colors together, pulling fabrics, and it all takes a lot of time. But I do see sometimes in people, and they pick out the right backing, they'll get the 108 wide. They don't want a seam in the back.
Right.
They spent all this and they want it perfect, and they go throw whatever batting in.
Yeah, no.
And it's almost like a sandwich. 2 pieces of bread, say you got really good bread.
And
you're going to throw anything in it. You know.
Like a piece of bologna?
Yeah, then you throw in a piece of bologna, and you expect that sandwich to really taste good. And you're going to go, batting is such an important part in your quilts.
Very important.
So that is why we have so many to choose from.
Right.
And there are different manufacturers, and they put different things into their batting and all that. So that was kind of a lead-off that I wanted to discuss.
I mean, that's it. Like with anything, you get what you pay for.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, I get it. I mean, quilting is not a cheap endeavor at all. It's expensive, but
we love
really,
it. Yeah.
if you want something to last, you need good quality stuff.
Yes.
So there are ways to, and we'll show you ways that you can save all your batting scraps also. So
yeah.
And
put it together.
And put it back together.
I call that Franken-batting.
Yes.
I seen that somewhere, and it just stuck in my mind.
That's
Franken-batting. Yeah.
But it works. It works. I do it quite a bit because I don't know, because Michelle and I both are long armors now, and so we buy our batting on the roll.
Yes.
And so I do have stuff that I cut off. So I have quite a few scraps that.
Yeah, I do just on mine. People keep if they buy it and it's off the roll, there's extra. It goes home with that quilt. Yeah. Yes, because I am not.
Well, yeah, I have.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have room.
Oh, yeah. I have a closet full that's stacked with batting scraps. So,
yes, I know. I still do.
Okay, you want to?
Okay, well, I can share what the different kinds of batting. Now, I know last time we were talking about, we touched on it, and Quilters Dream was brought up.
That's what you use a lot of.
I use a lot of Quilters Dream, And to me, now I have this, and let's see. Tell me if this is showing up, Lindsay, please.
Oh, let me switch you guys over.
Okay.
There we go. Yep.
Put this, okay. Because this is like a little sample packet of what they have. So when you look in here, it tells you about the batting and all this stuff. So they have 100% cotton batting, and it comes in like 4 different weights. So this is their thinnest, and they have it in white and natural. This is the one that we use mostly all the time, is called the Select batting, and that comes in the white and the natural. The Deluxe is thicker, and then the Supreme is really thick. And it might not look thick here, but I'm telling you, that is very thick. And then they have the 80-20. And they have that in the natural and the white also. And then they have bamboo, but their bamboo from Quilters Dream, it shows it's bamboo, silk, cotton, and tencel blend. So, but it's very, very nice and soft, and it's very drapeable. Then they have the fusible for those projects. And fusible, it has a fusible on the back of it. And feel how it's stiffer.
Oh, it is, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Michelle was asking about bag making and stuff. That might be a good one for that. It might not, if she wants something a little bit thinner, but it is fusible.
Yeah.
And that's for the people who want to, do some hand quilting and stuff. You can put your batting in there and just fuse it with the iron. That will keep it all down. And then a blend. What is that for machines? It says, look. Dream Blend. Oh, it's cotton and 30% silk.
Ooh, that feels good.
It is. It's still a little
nice.
stiff though. It's not like the bamboo's like real drapeable. Yeah. And then they have poly, which today's poly
it's so different.
Not like yesterday's.
Oh my gosh, yesterday's poly was awful.
Yeah, and they have 3 weights, so there's a little bit thicker and then even more thicker. So, and it's really, really nice. Holds up really good in quilts. It's good for those quilts like on the back of a couch or something, or your lap quilt. Keeps you nice and warm, and it's going to just be really strong to withstand a lot of washings. And then they have it in black too, because some of us like those black quilts, and when you put a black batting in your black quilt, it keeps it nice.
Well, and
it's
doesn't
the color. Yeah.
Sometimes when you're quilting, and sometimes when you see your needle come through, you'll get what we call bearding. Sometimes it'll pull a teeny bit of batting through. And that's where, if you have black quilts or dark quilts, the black batting comes in really nicely.
Yes. And then this other batting right here, which I think is really cool, it's called Dream Green. And it's made out of 100% recycled water bottles and stuff. And it is super soft. I've quilted with it before. It does not have any shrinkage whatsoever.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you can quilt, oh my gosh, I think it's 6 to 8 inches apart on that thing.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the poly. And then they have the puff, which is poly, and it's really fluffy. They have the wool, which is fluffy. This is a little bit fluffier than the wool. And then they have Dream Angel, which is fire retardant. So, and people like to
put like baby quilts?
Yep, they like to put it in baby quilts. So that's the Quilter's Dream. And then I also have the samples from Windline, because this is where I get the bamboo, because this Windline Bamboo is 100% bamboo.
Oh, it is so nice.
It's super soft. I mean, you can just see the drapeability in this stuff. It's nice and warm when it's cold outside, and it's a really nice quilt in the summertime because it keeps you cool too. It does both. It's bamboo.
So what does shrinkage on that? What is it about?
The shrinkage just says 2 to 5% with the first wash, and then it gets less and less after that. Okay. So there's not a lot of shrinkage with bamboo.
What's distance in quilting on that?
The quilting, it says, machine or hand quilt up to 10 inches apart.
10 inches. Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot.
That's huge.
I'm sorry, I would never quilt that far apart. Yeah, but you know what? If you have 12-inch or 10-inch blocks and you're tying it,
oh, sure,
that would be really good for tying blocks.
Yeah.
And then they have, I'm not going to go through this whole thing though, and then they have it says right here, 100%, this is cotton poly. Windline, which is really, really nice. And then cotton natural. They have cotton. So you can get all this in whatever brand. Then they have the white. They have the black. Then they have a different weight in the cotton. This one is, or this bamboo, this is a 6% bamboo. The other one was 4%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have all, and these are all the thicker ones of what I just showed you. So Windline, you know, another company. Then you have, let me see, Warm and Natural. A lot of people think Warm and Natural is 100% cotton.
It is.
It is not 100% cotton. And
I don't.
there is a couple things about, there's Warm and White. I would use Warm and White.
Right.
Because it's nice and white.
Right.
This is Warm and Natural, and the reason I
don't like it.
Shy away from Warm and Natural
Me too.
are these specks.
Those are like seeds.
Yes, they are. They do, when they make it, they kind of comb all the cotton. And some of them comb it. Quilters Dream combs it a lot more. So theirs does not have all these specks.
Right.
They have some, a little bit. I mean, but nothing that's going to show through. I literally had a lady one time years ago with a white. She had a lot of white in her quilt. And she brought me the Warm and Natural. And she asked me, what is all the dirt specks on my quilt when she was picking it up?
Oh.
And I said, that is not dirt specks. That is the specks from your batting showing through the white. And I have the paper off of this Warm and Natural. And it shows they're 87.5% cotton and 12.5% polypropylene, which is poly.
Right.
And I know a lot of that's in the scrim, but that's Warm and Natural is not 100% cotton, and they always say they are, and they're not.
I know, and well, and
like,
it's
just
actually
not right.
my least favorite.
Yeah, and then there's Hobs. Hobs is another favorite. I like Hobs.
I use
right
Hobs.
up there with Quilters Dream.
Yeah, Hobs is what I use.
Yeah. It's
80,
not
20.
Yeah, it's a little bit thinner. I think
it is than
it's
Dream
not
cotton.
as consistent as this.
Right.
And this is two of them. But, I mean, if you look, you know, just with the consistency, Dream, you know, the Quilters Dream is more consistent. But Hobs, I'm sorry, you can't beat it.
No, I agree.
And it gives you a little more fluff in your quilts.
And you can tell on Hobs the scrim.
Yes.
And which side to put down.
Yes, because when they make batting, it's called needle punching.
Right.
And they have a great big machine that has thousands and thousands of needles.
Right.
And the needles all come down and they punch right through. And that holds the fibers together. And they'll have a layer of what they call scrim on the bottom, which is, we know, polypropylene. And it holds everything together. So on the Hobs, you can really see, I don't know if you can see, there's little balls come through. On one side there.
You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it and you can really see it on the Hobs. The little balls are from the opposite side of the needles coming in because the needles go down and then that's what creates those little balls. And the reason they tell you to put those on the backing of your quilt and your quilt top goes over the top is when you're quilting it, your needle is going to be going the same way as this. It's not going to be fighting those little balls because if your needle, say your needle is not sharp enough for some reason, which you should always change your needles. But if you don't, it can hit one of those little balls and what it will do is it will poke it right through the back and you're going to get bearding from that also.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons, you know, they say just put it on that side. Is it something you have to do? No. Is it something that may help you? Yes. Yeah. Maybe some people say no. I think it does because I have really good results.
I have really good results with it too.
And I always watch for that.
Yeah. Me too.
And that's pretty much what I have aside from this, but that's like something else we'll talk about later.
Well, I just have, what else did I bring? Oh. This is Hobs wool.
Hobs wool, yeah. Well, that's wool and cotton, right?
Oh, no, this is the cotton. I've got wool, too. But this is the Tuscany collection.
Yeah, that's really nice,
from Hobs. And that one is cotton. That's 100% cotton. And then this is Hobs heirloom. This is 100% wool also. So, and wool's really, I don't know. Did you see it? Yeah. And wool's really nice if you want. Sometimes we'll do 2 layers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put our 80-20 on the bottom and the wool on top. So if you have something, you can kind of get a trapunto look, which is really nice with wool.
It is. And it really helps when you want custom quilting.
Yes.
And it helps.
Because it shows your quilting really well.
It does. And that backing, when you fold your quilts, that backing will help keep it, and the wool on top. It helps to take the wrinkles out of that quilt if you hang it. Like if it's going in a show stuff. People like that.
Well, but you you should always fold on the bias.
Well, that is something I don't agree with.
Really? You don't think so?
Well, people are saying that, and I don't know. It just seems to me that the fabric is on the bias is weaker. It just seems like that to me.
Really?
Yes.
Because that's why they say,
I know.
It's weird because I know because bias binding, that's why they want you to do bias binding because they say it's stronger than on the straight.
I think it's to go around curves.
Oh, that too. But
because I don't do that. Yeah, because if
I do it straight. I mean, I do the easy way.
I do it straight unless it's a scallop.
Right.
Then I'll do it.
I
or
do
it's
the
a
easy
circle
way.
or oval or something. I know.
That's just me.
So, well.
See, everybody's different. There's really no wrong way.
There is no wrong. No, there is no wrong way. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it to where it's tried and true, where I've folded a quilt, on the bias, and I've waited, and stacked other things on it, and then opened it.
You can always steam
It's
out
just
the
in
wrinkles.
my mind that I don't know. I did hear something though. Someone said that really made sense to me is like if you have your quilt, and she goes, always fold it from the bottom up. If you fold it and if you're going to have it in a show or somewhere, or you're going to hang it on your wall. Because if you fold it from the bottom up and then you fold it on the sides, this first fold is the one where it's really going to be folded pretty tight. And then you're going to hang it on your wall. By hanging it,
it's going to pull it out.
The weight itself will pull that out. But if you fold it sideways, that whole fold, and you hang it, it doesn't come out very easy.
Well, that's true.
It just made sense to me. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So that made sense. And then she also mentioned on the bias, and in my mind, I was like, no. But I guess I need to really try it.
Yeah,
before I argue the point.
And I don't know, like Michelle and I usually use 80-20 mostly.
Yes.
Which is 80% cotton, 20% polyester. I like it, the looks of it, because, and I kind of brought a sample of what it looks like after it's washed. I never pre-wash any of my fabric, ever.
I don't either.
I know a lot of people say.
I like the crinkly look.
I do too. So then once, and I use the 80-20 batting. I always use 100% cotton fabric. So the 80-20 batting, there's probably about, 3 to 4% shrinkage.
Yeah. And how much in cotton?
It depends. I mean, cotton nowadays doesn't shrink that much, really.
I don't know. But I think if you really want a wrinkly one, you can use your 100% cotton fabric and then your 100% cotton batting.
Right.
And then when you wash it, it's really going to shrink up.
Yeah. But this is what an 80-20 does. And it kind of gives it an old antique look and stuff. So that's why I like it.
The well-worn.
Yeah.
The
really comfy, cozy. Yeah. That's my favorite.
I know. That's the ones I grab.
So Margaret Wessel was asking what to do to create an old-fashioned looking blanket. So you would recommend?
I really,
cotton. That would be
100% cotton would be the best, like Michelle said, because you're going to get the most shrinkage with the 100% cotton batting fabric, and it will shrink up to make it look old and comfy and one of those that you snuggle up with on the couch.
Yep. It's all for the look that you're going for.
Yeah, it is. A show quilt, not so much. I mean, something.
No, you don't even want to wash those before you put them in.
You don't put those in a show with them being washed.
No. Well, you can, and I've seen them, but I've never seen them with a ribbon on them.
No, and then the big ones that just won in Paducah were.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those too.
Those are pretty incredible. So.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into those. And you know those have double batting in them.
Oh, most of them.
You can even do just a double
80-20. Yeah.
Or you could put an 80-20 on the bottom and cotton on the top. You know, it's what you're going for. There's so many different looks with your batting. You know, just wool by itself or, you know, just an 80-20 by itself.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And Hobs, you're going to get a little puffier look. You know, as opposed to the Quilters Dream is a little bit flatter.
It is flatter.
And some people, you know, I don't carry I do carry some of the Request, which is the thinnest that they make, but
that'd be great for garments.
It would. And another thing what I do too, a lot of people say, if I have minky on the back, do I need batting? Well, yes.
I think so.
Yeah, and if for no other reason, to make the top and the minky play well together. Because if you've ever loaded it, it's really slippery, and you put that top on there, and then you're trying to quilt it, it's slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah,
and you put
need
that
batting.
Request, the real thin in there, or just the normal. I mean, normal's great too because it's still really nice. Minky's nice anyway, you know.
Yeah, for a batting.
But if you don't want a batting, at least put like a Request in there, and you know, or some people who don't want any batting, they put a piece of flannel in there.
You can use flannel.
Yeah,
but boy, that's really gonna shrink.
Oh yeah, 100% cotton. Boom. Flannel.
I mean, flannel shrinks more than anything.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's even a loose weave.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing.
So you really have to test that out. I mean, it depends on the look you're going for.
Yep. Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Angela Andrews would like to know what kind of batting is best for table runners and wall hangings. Like if there's...
I use 80-20 in almost everything. So, and this is a table runner, and it's 80-20.
Poly would be good too.
Poly would be good. It depends.
That thin poly. Because if you're hanging it, you know, I mean, this is what I tell people too. 100% cotton is tried and true, right?
Right.
100% cotton's been around for hundreds of years. Right. And it's, you know, but it breaks down.
Right.
And if your quilting is not as dense, like on a wall quilt,
right,
it can say, here's your quilt, you know, and it's all straight, and it can start sagging. You know, and that has a lot of factors in it. How dense is it quilted and all that stuff. But for that, I would use at the minimum an 80-20, or I would use poly. There's a 70-30 I've got also. I did not bring any of that.
Huh.
And that is a little bit stiffer and real nice.
Oh, I bet that's really great for wall hangings.
It's really nice for wall hanging. So that is out there also.
Well, and really
I believe it's this one.
Let me see. Polyesters of today really are so different than...
they don't have it in here. That's one thing they don't have in their sample. I have other sample books. This is a newer one. Yeah, the 70-30 is not in there. I have a whole bolt of it. And I really like that. It is a little stiffer.
It's stiffer.
Yep, okay. Perfect. Especially if you're going to wash them a lot, like your table runners and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see, Jermaine Mitchell is curious about the washability and durability of bamboo batting, if it's any different from cotton.
I have never used bamboo. So.
Yeah. It says... every time I use it, I always give one of these out because this is what comes with the batting. And it's on how to wash it and everything. I have used it on one of mine. Let's see, it says there'll be a 1 to 5% shrinkage
so it doesn't
on the first
shrink that
wash.
much.
Right. And when you wash it...
is it...
Let's see. After quilting, quilts using this batting can be machine washed normally with a mild detergent and dried on a delicate cycle. So you want to be careful a little bit, but it's bamboo, and bamboo is super hard.
I wonder
why the question again?
The durability and washability
of bamboo. Yeah, I have never ever had a problem with it.
Well, and
I've never had it coming out of my quilts when I wash it. I've never ever had anything like get all lopsided and stuff, and it doesn't get as crinkly.
I'm sure not. If the quilting doesn't have to.
Yeah, if it can be up to 10 inches apart.
It says dry it on
a delicate cycle.
I never dry on delicate.
Me either. That sucker's in there on hot.
I just wash it normal. I do, since I don't pre-wash anything, I do wash my quilts that have red in them with color catchers.
That's what I do. And purple. And dark blue. I use color catcher. But other than that, I just wash them the way I wash them.
Like
and that's how I test stuff.
And I put it on the bedding cycle.
Yes, so do I. Yeah.
Really get it good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I test it.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever had a problem with the bamboo at all.
Okay.
Very good. Cool. And then Tina Schroeder wants to know if there's a difference in the batting to use on a wall quilt versus a lap quilt.
Yes, and it's the hanging thing.
Well, you might want it stiffer on a wall quilt than.
Yes, and a wall quilt will not be washed as much, if ever, as opposed to a lap quilt.
Yeah.
It's gonna if they're loved a lot and washed a lot, then I use at least an 80-20.
Yeah, I throw mine in the wash all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are wondering about the baby quilt batting, which you're recommending be.
Well, they do have a fire retardant one now. Of course.
And it's thinner batting.
It is thinner. But the only thing is that fabric is not fire retardant.
Right. But
this would be helpful.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I've made all the baby quilts I've made. I use 80-20. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never used the fire retardant, but it's nice that they do have that option now.
Yeah, I'll read you what it says. It says, special fibers engineered to be inherently flame retardant. No chemicals added. Fibers will not melt or flow when in contact with flame. Passed California 604 test for open flame resistance. And then finished quilt may be machine washed and dried. Beautifully soft and heavenly for hand and machine quilting. And I've never heard of anyone having a problem with that.
It's very thin.
Yeah, and I have a lot of repeat customers who's made baby.
Okay.
Because they know it's going to be washed a lot.
Right.
You know, with the baby. So.
Barbara wants to know if most batting or all batting manufacturers have the batting brochures like you guys have, or is it just certain ones? Because she thinks it's nice to fill the product before purchasing.
Oh.
That I don't know. Well, I haven't asked them. I guess if you ask them,
Michelle runs a business, so she has all this stuff. So it would be nice to be able to. Usually,
I know
if a store where you buy the batting
had a little sample,
had samples of
just
everything,
a board
would
with
be
the
nice.
sample.
Yeah, that would be nice to feel it. So I don't know. I have Jeannie order me the rolls of the Hobs 80-20.
Yeah, because you've been using it for a long time.
I've been using it
and
forever.
You get great results.
And I do get great results. Mm-hmm. So that's what that's just my preference because that's what I use.
Yeah, and it's nice to know. I know when I have just a quilt that I'm making for myself or a lap or we're putting it on a recliner, I grab 80-20.
Yeah.
That's it. And it could be Hobs depending on the design. Like if I have a little bubble design and I want it to poke out, you use
Hobs.
I use Hobs because I like the puffiness.
Right.
But if I just have something I want to see, I did a little gnome quilt at Christmas and it quilted little gnomes on it. I really wanted to see all that. And then I used my Quilters Dream.
Quilters Dream.
Because it was a little bit flatter. I could still see everything. And I liked it. And I wash them all the time. I have dogs. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. So.
Kathy's wondering which batting content is best for machine embroidery.
I don't think it matters.
I don't either. No, but we were looking at Michelle. Gail Martin asked us that also. And, it would probably have to be like this, the fusible. Because you can feel the fusible on the back. It just gives it a little bit more weight. And it's a little bit, it just feels a little bit stiffer.
I just throw my scraps from my 80-20.
I know. I think it depends on the embroidery design too. Like those Kimberbell ones where you got the backing embroidery on it and you want it to pop. I know I did the Christmas one and it had trees. I used Hobs because I wanted it to pop. Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much use Hobs for everything. So
yeah.
This might be a little bit redundant, but the Rochelle wants to know what the benefit of 80-20 batting is.
Because of the poly, it's stronger.
It is stronger. It's stronger than the 100% cotton.
Yeah.
And you can get away with quilting further apart on an 80-20 than usually 100% cotton.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
I think you really don't want to quilt more than 2 inches apart on 100% cotton. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, because
I mean, and 2 inches is not a lot, ladies and gents. It really isn't.
No.
I mean, and that's, boy, back in the old days, that's what they did.
Yes, they did. But you look at the quilts now that were quilted way back then, and you can see high and low spots.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
them.
You can see high and low spots.
And there is some battings out there today that I've seen like that I would not use.
Oh, there are some that I would not use. Yes.
Yeah, so just be careful when you're picking them and look and see. And,
well, and like Michelle said, I mean, you put this much work into something. Be really, careful with you. I mean, we've always said it's not a cheap endeavor to do.
No.
Fabric's expensive, thread's expensive, machines are expensive. So don't scrum on your batting either.
On your batting. Your batting is just as important,
as
if
everything.
not as
it's one of the
more
main,
important.
It's a major player in your quilt.
Yes, very good. That's a very good way to put it. Yes.
Terry Gardy wants to know, what kind of batting do you use for a heavier or warmer quilt?
You'd be surprised at how warm just an 80-20 is.
That's what she's currently using.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't, unless you like something really weighted, you could just double bat.
You can double bat, or you can use wool.
Or wool. Wool is warmer.
And bamboo is warm too, believe it.
Yeah.
It's warm. It's light and it's really drapable and it's very warm. But you can use that very same quilt in the summer and it's cool.
Cooler.
It's I don't know with the bamboo. It's just
pretty interesting.
That's why it's the most expensive batting there is.
Yeah, it is not cheap.
It is not cheap. It's like almost $20 a yard.
Yeah, that's
even the wool's expensive. It's
wool's
a little over
expensive.
$15. So
batting's not.
Yeah,
good batting is not cheap anyway.
No, and that price varies, people. That's just
and
that can be old price.
So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, there is another batting that we haven't even covered at all, and that is the Insulbright. And that, I believe, that is a poly.
It is a poly
on top of.
Well, that's
it
your
looks
pot
like,
holders.
Looks like foil.
It does look like. I don't know exactly what the contents is, but I think it is poly.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. But that is what you use in all your little, pot holders and all that stuff. And you
don't use that in bulk cozies that you're going to put in the microwave, though.
Yeah, you cannot. You'll have sparks flying.
Yeah, use 100% cotton.
Your husbands will go crazy. What did you put in the microwave? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's on fire.
Yeah, Insulbright is for like pot holders.
Yes.
Or things that you want to put on the table to keep dishes from burning your table.
Yeah, good for placemats.
Yeah, good for placemats.
Yes, good for placemats.
Yeah. And then, just one more thing. I know we kind of briefly touched on it, but Cheryl's wanting to know what is the right side and the wrong side of the batting. So maybe we can go over that one more time.
Okay.
I know we mentioned it briefly, but
like Michelle was talking about the scrim, which is the polyester where they have the fibers on top and the needles go down, and it's on Hobs you can really tell.
Yeah,
because it is bumpier on the back side. That's considered the wrong side. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if you put that on,
change your needle.
Change your needle. Yeah, exactly. Because it will, like Michelle said, if you put this up and you do, and your needle is kind of dull and it hits one of those little bumps, it's going to push it. Yeah, it's going to beard.
Because what those bumps are is actually the batting itself.
Yes.
It just pushed together in a ball. Right. So it's a little tight spot in your batting.
Yeah.
And that's what will push through on your needle.
Yes. So, I mean, the right side is smoother. It's not a huge difference. I mean, you can kind of feel it, but it's not a huge difference. So that's how you can tell.
I just think of it, if it's, I look for it and I do put it on, and in my mind it is a right and wrong way
me
to
too.
put it on, because I think, why fight it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to give me a better result,
Right.
I'm going to try to go for the better result.
I agree.
Every time.
I agree.
So that's what I do.
So now I'm going to tell you what I do when I want to save some money.
And we all want to save money.
All my scraps. So I use all my scraps for my table runners, for placemats, for pillows. So here's how I join. You can zigzag if you want to, but to me this is the easiest way, and I use fusible tape, and it just, you fuse it. I fuse it on both sides so it stays together. Make sure you use a press cloth, please. Mm-hmm. You don't.
Yeah, because your iron will stick to it. You go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you use a press, and it's perfect. You can quilt over it. You never can tell that it's there, ever.
Right.
I do square up my edges, make sure my edges are square, and I butt them up against each other.
Yeah, what I do is I take, like, say this is 2 pieces. Well, here's 2 pieces. And then I would just go right along, and then I take my rotary cutter, my ruler, and I cut it.
Yeah.
Then
flip it.
It's the very same, and it comes, and you have a perfect seam right there.
That's what I do too.
And then you lay it over that.
Yep.
And when you do that, don't put this batting
with another batting.
with this batting.
No, use the same batting.
Because if you do, your project is going to have high and lows.
Yes. It has to be the same batting.
Yeah, you want to match likes, because you'll get a lot better result. And I've heard it called, it's Franken batting.
Right.
So you're going to take all the time to cut all this up, have all these pieces, and you're looking around going, oh, my whole morning's gone, but I finally got enough for my quilt.
Right.
After doing all that, it's a lot of work to do that.
It is a lot of work.
And you just want to, please make sure you use the same kind of batting.
Yeah, true. So, and I know Michelle and I long arm, so I don't baste anymore. But if you do baste, when I used to baste, I used this. I used Sullivan's Quilt Spray batting, and it's great stuff, because back in the old days I used to hand baste, and that was not fun. But
I know, I just used pin. I don't like spray base.
See, I spray base.
Yeah.
To me, it's easy. And I used to, before I got my long arm, I had big tables from Costco that I would set up in my garage, and that's how I would baste my quilts. Mm-hmm. Back in the old days, I'd baste them on the floor, but I'm too damn old to get down on the floor now. But I use that a lot. But now, just for little things, for like table runners and pillows and stuff, if I just want to make sure they don't go apart, I use this. And you don't need much. You just want it to hold. So that's pretty much how I keep my batting together when I'm not long arming. Right.
Yeah. No, ever spray base and bring it to your long armors. Please do not do that.
Oh, no. No.
No. Yeah, don't ever baste it. And you always bring your quilt separate. Yes. I've had some people taken the time, your backing, your batting, and your top. Or you can always get the batting from your long armor if they have that too. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we kind of covered all the questions we got here in the comments.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to take a break for June, because the quilt show is the 5th, 6th, and 7th here in Reno. So we're going to take June, and Jeannie's going to be gone in July, the first part of July, I think.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be back till August, and it'll be a surprise what we talk about.
Yes.
So
have to get our samples together. And so we are going to keep you guys just on the edge of your seats for what we are going to talk about next. But it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And you guys are going to really want to know about it.
So quilt for the next 2 months.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.